Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video, we're going to spend a little time and take a deeper look at what it takes to put a Chinese 12-volt aftermarket engine in your little Honda, whether it be a Z50, CT70, S65, or whatever bike you're putting in. The engine doesn't care what frame it's in. It's going to operate the same. So I've started with a engine that I bought off of Amazon for right at $300, I believe it was. And I bought the complete set that has the carburetor and everything that comes with it. You'll see it when we open it up. Now, I'm not going to start the engine today, but we're going to go through the wiring and what it takes to get the plug to fire so that when you do put fuel to it, it will start up. So all right, so like I said, I bought the complete set that comes. It's got a package with the wiring harness. Let's see what all it does have in here. It's got the CDI, the 12-volt coil, and just a really simple wiring harness that just allows the bike to run. No headlights. So if you're building a bike that you're just going to run around the yard and you're not worried about, headlights or anything, this wiring harness is all you need to get the bike to run. Now, to kill the bike, we'll talk about that in a minute, but you don't need the wiring harness that's in your bike to make this engine run. This is all you need. Kickstarter. Boy, the box has got a little bit of damage to it, but that's not going to hurt anything for us. Kickstarter, shift lever, we won't worry about putting that on. This is probably the carburetor. It is, and I believe the gaskets, the intake, and the bolts and the gaskets for the carburetor all are in there. So it's a pretty complete set. Let's see if I can wrestle this thing out of here, because I'd like to put it on an engine stand so that you can see it a little bit better. Let's get rid of this. Now this is the 4-speed manual transmission. The wiring is the same for the semi-automatic. I typically prefer the semi-automatic engines. I'm just lazy. I don't like using a clutch. I just like to be able to shift and go. But the semi-automatics are super hard to find right now in January of 2021. So we bought a 4-speed manual. All right, let me see if I can, just bear with me a second. See if I can get this on a stand here. Hey, you don't need to watch me bolt that on there. I'm going to bolt this on. I'll bring you right back. All right, so I've got the engine firmly mounted to my engine stand. Let's take a look at the wiring on this engine first, because it has 2 harnesses on it, 2 plugs. You may or may not have that. With this green plug here, these wires, actually this engine is set up that if you have a speedometer that shows you what gear you're in, that's what those wires are for. The neutral, first, second, third, and fourth gear will actually show up if you've got a speedometer or something, lights that can show you that. So in our application, where all we're doing is wiring it to run, we don't need those wires. The other harness has 5 wires in it. The yellow wire and the white wire, we're not going to utilize those either because those are for charging and for lights. And since we're not hooking lights up, we don't need them. All we have to worry about are these 3 wires, the blue and white, the black and red, and the green ground. So we're going to take our harness that came with the engine. There is a green that just plugs into the green. This one is more red than black, but it's black and red, so it hooks into the black and red. And there is a blue and white that hooks to the blue and white. Pretty simple stuff there. That's all you need. Okay. The CDI just plugs right into the wiring harness and you can't really mess it up. It'll only plug into the one plug. So it goes there. The coil has 2 wires. It has a green and a black and gold. So in the harness is a green wire. And again, this one's more gold than black, but it's still the same 2 colors. So it goes together. And that's really all you have to get the bike to run. Now you might ask, well, what are these 2 plugs? These are kill button wires. And they've actually got 2 different sets, 2 different style plugs, depending on what kind of kill button you have. Unfortunately, I don't have a kill button in stock to show you, but it essentially just, when you hit the kill button, it just grounds out the CDI and kills the spark. So I need to throw the Kickstarter on, and I want to take out the spark plug just so it's a little easier to kick over. Now, if your coil has 2 wires, it does not need to be mounted, grounded to the frame at all or anything else. That's what the green wire is accomplishing. If you have a coil that only has 1 wire, the black and gold, then that means that it's intended to have the frame grounded to the engine. So we should, if we kick this over, we should have spark at the plug. Which we do, but you guys aren't going to be able to see that. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer here. Let you take a look. All right, I obviously turned the lights off so you can hopefully see it. We're looking right in this area. It may be too, I may wobble you too much. Yeah, you can't really see it because I'm shaking the whole thing too much. Yeah, it was worth a try. Take my word for it, it's firing. So that's really how simple it is to get one of these to run. Just this simple harness. Now, if you buy an engine and it does not come with that harness, you can pick one up at any of your favorite, suppliers, Trail Buddy, Mike's Mini Trail, CHP, T-Bolt, whoever. They're all going to sell that small harness right there to get your 12-volt engine to run. While you're doing it, you can pick up a kill button to be able to plug into one of these so that you can then shut the engine off once you've got it running. And literally, if we were to put the plug in this thing, put the carb on it, put gas in it, that engine would fire up right there as it sits on the stand. So hope that helps somebody who has installed one of these in their bike and wants trying to get it up and running. We'll do other videos on more intricate harnesses that include lights and signals, but for today we're just keeping it simple and just trying to get the bike to run. So if that helped you, if you liked the video, please subscribe, hit me with a comment, hit me with a like, share it if you want to, share the channel, appreciate that. So guys, we will see you on the next video. Thanks.